Do you want to play Enhancement Stormbringer or Shaman, but you don't know where to start? Don't worry, I got you. I created this build with simplicity in mind, so you have less buttons to think about. Maybe it's not the best build for damage, but I believe it's the easiest build to play. In case you want to skip ahead, I marked the different parts of the video. Starting with the talents, as I've said before, I wanted this build to be simple, so I took as many passives as I could. Unfortunately, you have to take some actives in this talent tree, but luckily they are very situational and I will cover them in this video. The most important one is going to be your wind shear. This is your interrupt. The right side of the talent tree offers many more passives that we can take. However, if you're a real gamer and want more actives, I would recommend dropping a point here, taking Doom Winds, and instead of deeply rooted elements, you can go for Ascendance, as it gives you much more control when you want to enter Ascendance to deal more damage. But if you want to stick to this simple build, you're going to be more RNG dependent, but you won't have as many buttons to press. Next up we have the rotation. Since this is a Mythic Plus build, your AoE rotation will be much better than your single target, so let's start with that. You want to start your fights by casting Flame Shock and then Lava Lash on the same target. This will spread Flame Shock on all nearby targets. After that, you can cast Primordial Wave. This is one of your most important AoE abilities, so make sure to use it on cooldown. At this point, if you're at 10 stacks of Maelstrom, you can use your Primordial Storm. Otherwise, you want to use Crash Lightning and then spam Storm Strike until at 10 stacks. At this point, you're done with your opener and you will proceed with your standard rotation. Whenever you are at 10 stacks, you want to use Tempest if available. If not, you want to use Primordial Storm. If that's also not available, you're going to use your Chain Lightning. While you're not at 10 stacks, you want to use the following priority: Primordial Wave, Voltaic Blaze, Crash Lightning, Storm Strike, Lava Lash, and if none of these are available, you can use your Flame Shock, or you can also drop a Healing Stream Totem to help out your healer. Keep an eye on your Flame Shock duration at all times and refresh it with Lava Lash if needed. So that's pretty much how your AoE rotation works. Moving on with the single target. For the single target rotation, you also want to start with Flame Shock. You can also precast Lava Burst if you're on a boss or something. After that, you want to spam Storm Strike as long as you have charges or until you reach 10 stacks. If you run out of charges before you reach 10 stacks, you're gonna use your Lava Lash, then your Crash Lightning, then your Primordial Wave, and if you don't have any of these, you can just cast Flame Shock again. So that means your priority will look something like this. At less than 10 stacks, you want to prioritize Storm Strike, then Voltaic Blaze, then Lava Lash, Crash Lightning, then Primordial Wave. At 10 stacks, you want to spend those stacks by casting, in this order, Tempest, then Lava Burst, and then Lightning Bolt. Make sure you use your Lava Burst with Flame Shock up, because in that case it will always critically strike. In case you run out of charges on every ability and you're still not at 10 stacks, you can use your spenders before, but make sure you have at least 5 stacks, because that makes your Lightning Bolt and your Lava Burst instant cast. Also on single target, whenever you have downtime, you can just drop a Healing Stream Totem. This will help your healer. Because of our deeply rooted elements talent, whenever we are spending Maelstrom stacks, we have a 0.6% chance to activate Ascendance for 8 seconds. Ascendance will turn your Storm Strike into Wind Strike, which is a ranged attack that does more damage, while in Ascendance you just want to spam Wind Strike. So this concludes the single target rotation. I also wanted to include your utilities in this guide, since those are also an important aspect of Mythic Plus. Your most important one being Wind Shear. Try to use this as much as possible and interrupt spells. The second most important ones are your defensives. Those are your Astral Shift and your Stone Bulwark Totem. Astral Shift is going to reduce the damage you take by 40%, and Stone Bulwark Totem gives you a shield. It also gives you an additional shield every 5 seconds. Since Astral Shift doesn't have a global cooldown, you can bundle these two abilities together if you're taking a lot of damage and help out your healer. The next two very useful spells are Capacitor Totem and Thunderstorm. You can use these to interrupt spellcasting of multiple enemies at once. Even though it's not an actual interrupt, it will still stop their spellcasting. Make sure you take the Thunder Shock talent, because otherwise you will end up displacing the mobs and your tank will probably be mad at you. The rest of the abilities that you have are very situational in my opinion. You have your Earth Elemental, which summons an elemental that fights for you. I think it also takes aggro, so you can use this to help out your tank. We have Cleanse Spirit, which removes all curse effects from a target. Then we have Purge, which removes one beneficial magic effect from an enemy target. Spirit Walk removes all movement impairing effects, so you can use this if you are rooted. Since we have the Thunderous Paws talent, Ghost Wolf also removes snares, so you can use that as well. The only difference is going to be that Spirit Walk has a cooldown and will give you more movement speed. Don't forget to use your buffs in every dungeon that you do. Those will be your Flame Tongue weapon, Wind Fury weapon, Lightning Shield, Sky Fury, and Earth Shield. Earth Shield can be placed on you and one other target. This will for most cases be your tank, so you can always recast this on yourself and your tank when your group is moving between mobs. So I think that covers everything. I hope this tutorial helped you get into Enhancement Shaman. If you enjoyed it, I would appreciate if you leave a like, subscribe, and if you do, I will see you in the next video. See ya!